Hey, it's Nicole here, your voice of victory and your mental fitness coach. Let's talk about mental health because it's time to let's talk. It's Bell Mental Health Day, Let's Talk Day, as they say, and I think it's time we should always be talking about it. Now, there's a lot of concerns with what's happening on the TTC, what's happening on the roads with individuals. Is anyone talking about the mental health care system in Canada and the barriers to care? Because we're throwing a lot of money at stuff, but are we throwing money at the right stuff? Are we bringing the right people into the conversations? Are we talking to the clinicians? Are we talking to the caregivers and finding out what the real roadblocks are to care? So let's talk about consent and capacity. Let's talk about when a person can be held in hospital, even though they're not well. Did you know if someone is in mania or even having paranoia psychosis, if they are not showing that they are a threat to themselves or harm to themselves or others, it's quite possible they can be released from hospital before time, even though they're showing signs they're unwell. Um, and that's just one. Sometimes caregivers are not involved in the conversations, so someone could actually be presenting very well to the doctors, but because they caught them at the right time, it looks like they're doing well. Again, they can be released and not being taken care of properly. So you're wondering why things are happening on the TTC and on the streets of Toronto and around Canada? It's because one of the big reasons is because people are not getting the help that they need because of how the system is set up. Now, I can get into this a whole lot more, but I think I'm probably going to bring some people on for a conversation. You can tune into my YouTube channel. We've talked about this sometimes, Victory Speak 7 on YouTube, but there is so much more. And just putting security at the TTC, that's great, but that's not going to solve the problem. We really need to get to the crux of the matter with mental health and why people are unwell on the streets, whether it's an addiction issue, whether it's different various types of illnesses. We need to get to the truth. And we're not talking the truth. We're talking a lot of surface things. Now, I know some people are not going to like what I have to say, but it's time we tell the truth. And for those advocates that are out there who know what I'm talking about, I know you like what I have to say. Now, to the media, why don't you pick up on the truth? Why don't you start telling the stories or speaking to the individuals that are dealing with the barriers to care of their loved ones and why people that are unwell are on the streets of Toronto and across Canada? Let's have that conversation. Let's talk. Who's ready to talk? DM me. Let's have that conversation and let's keep it real so we can really address what's happening with mental health and wellness in this city and why and the care that people need and the capacity and the systems that are set up to make people fail. Really, it's a truth. It's a system problem. This is Nicole, your voice of victory, mental fitness coach, trying to stay mentally fit during this mental health crisis that is exacerbating the system. Anyways, I digress. Let's talk if you really want to talk.